and welcome to Exit Through the Gift Shop, the podcast where the rides might be over, but the opinions are just getting started.
We're Rob and Matt, theme park nerds, pop culture obsessives, and the duo behind It's Rob and Matt on YouTube.
Expect theme park news, Disney drama, Universal updates, pop culture chaos, and probably a few hot takes along the way as well.
So grab your overpriced churro,
Join the virtual queue you'll definitely miss.
and let's get into it.
Okay, so Magic Bands tapped and podcast loaded. Today we're jumping into our fast to the news, getting into our epic universe expectations, and probably going off on a few random tangents along the way. Theme parks, pop culture, and whatever else we're obsessing over. So, how are you?
I'm all right, thank you.
Yeah?
Glad. Yeah,
Looking forward to episode 2?
it was a good week. Yeah, I am actually. Yeah, I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to getting into it.
Me too. I'm excited to talk about Epic Universe.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be epic.
Ooh. Okay, so should we get started with our fast pass to the news then?
Go for it.
So, first up, I'm quite excited about this one because I hadn't heard much about it. And then I saw it on social media the other day and it tells me that what we talked about, it kind of links into what we talked about previously. But there is a new Star Wars lounge coming to Disneyland Paris this spring, summer. Is it through till September?
Through till September, yeah. Yeah, so I saw this and I thought, oh, how interesting, how apt that follows on from kind of our last discussion that we had when we were talking about
Disneyland Paris's food offering.
yeah, food offering.
Well, food beverage offering. We talked about the fact that it doesn't have any lounges, didn't we?
Oh, okay. Oh, you're okay.
You're there.
I was more
Imagine.
I was more talking about the
Food.
May the 4th, yeah, May the 4th stuff. But okay, I suppose, yeah, that's great. I suppose it links into both, doesn't it?
Yeah, so this is going to be called Lounge Lightspeed. And it's going to be in Discoveryland.
Well, better than it being in Fantasyland.
Yeah.
Not be very happy if it was like,
Obviously, it's going to be in Discoveryland.
yeah.
And it's going to be, from what I can understand, it's going to be where the X-Wing is. So by the entrance to...
Star Tours.
Yeah, but also by the entrance to the Star Wars Encounter. What's it called?
I don't know.
Where you meet Darth
I
Vader.
was about to say to you, I can't remember what that's called now. But yeah, it's basically you meet Darth Vader in that bottom bit, don't you? And
Yeah.
above there,
Starport is what it's called.
Starport, that's it. And then above there is where they're going to have the lounge. And then there's the X-Wing is sat on top.
Yeah. So, from what we know, Lounge Lightspeed is an outdoor terrace tucked under the life-size X-Wing atop Starport. While Starport is already home to Star Wars meet and greets, other characters will appear at the lounge, which is very exciting. I wonder if that was the introduction of Zoda then, and she's going to appear there.
Maybe.
Potentially. It has been confirmed that this will be the home of the BDX droids.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where they're going to be hanging out.
So they're obviously staying around then.
Yeah. And I guess May the 4th was potentially a bit of a tester of introducing them, because this is all come out after May the 4th, hasn't it? Disneyland Paris also teased a familiar little droid at the bar waiting to be sent to the factory for reprogramming. So that's really interesting. Now, this lounge is sponsored by Coca-Cola. It's seasonal. So currently we know that it's around until September, like we said. And yeah, I think it's really, really exciting. It's apparently going to be kind of similar to what the kind of thing you can expect in Ogre's Cantina, as in you do have to book a reservation. You can't just turn up, and I believe you'll have a time limit on there as well. So similar kind of experience. But that's quite exciting, I think.
It is. When I first read it, I did think it was going to be an indoor thing and it was going to be decked out a little bit. Not exactly the same as Ogre's Cantina, because again, I wouldn't want that cookie cuttered across again, but something a bit similar to that with its own kind of identity, its own kind of vibe, all that kind of thing. And then when I found out it was an outside thing, I was like, oh, so how's that going to fare with the weather that we get in France a lot of the time? Because it's very much the same weather we get here in the UK, isn't it? So how's that going to fare with the weather that we get? As in, like, if it's chucking down with rain, they're just going to close it and cancel the reservations.
Well, it looks like they're putting some kind of covering under it from the concept art. It looks like there's going to be some kind of covering. So whether there's going to be that and heaters, I'm not sure. What it does say though is it's been developed by Walt Disney Imagineering, so you know that the theme is going to be high quality.
Yeah.
And it's been sponsored by Coca-Cola, as we said. But Lounge Lightspeed will serve drinks and Star Wars themed snacks.
Well, all that's very exciting, and I love that because, as I was saying from the last podcast we did, I'm loving these kind of things coming to Disneyland Paris now. 'Cause it's one of the things that we miss in Disneyland Paris is all this kind of stuff. And sometimes when you go for a good few days, you start to go, what can I do now without repeating something? Or what can I do now without going on another ride, like going on a ride again and things like that. You start to struggle for things to do after a couple of days. I think Disneyland Paris it's probably a 2-day, 2.5 day. After that,
In its current state.
yeah, after that you start to struggle.
Yeah.
Hopefully with the opening of Adventure
Well,
World, when it's all done, where that will give us a lot more to do. So I'm hoping it's going to be a 4 to 5 day by the time all that's done and all the new stuff's in. And now this as well, that's an extra thing that's coming in.
yeah.
So does that mean after September it's just going to close and it's just not going to be available?
I mean, from what we can see, that's what it looks like at the moment. It has a capacity of 50 guests at a time. I believe, looking at it, it's open from 1 p.m. until 10 p.m. daily. So I'm guessing so. Whether or not they're going to do some kind of seasonal overlay on it, I did see that rumored, but I've not seen anything confirmed of that. I've not seen any kind of news articles or anything of that. I saw that there's potentially going to be seasonal overlays, which could be interesting. Not that there's many seasonal. I don't think there's much seasonal you could do with Star Wars. I'd make Star Wars Halloween or Christmas.
Well, you don't. You don't. So this brings me to a question.
Go on.
So does this mean then we can kiss goodbye to the moon?
Oh, well, no, because it's
Is this the introduction of Star Wars into Discoveryland to the point where
well, no, because that leads me on to my next point.
the
Quite well,
moon isn't coming back?
Your question there has led me on to my next point quite well. So my next point is that the story of this lounge, this lounge Lightspeed, is going to be linked to Star Tours The Adventure Continues. So my guess is that it's going to be like some kind of airport lounge.
Okay. Oh, right. I see. Oh, I see. Right. Okay.
Because when you go through it, it's literally like, it's like an airport, is it? There's like a departure board.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's like the luggage scanning and stuff.
Yeah.
R2D2's there. I love it. I love that queue.
Yep.
But yeah, so I think it's really interesting. I'm quite interested to see what the kind of story is that they've created, if it is linked to that. I do enjoy Star Tours. It's not one that I want to do every time we go. We didn't even do it last time we went to Orlando, did we?
No. I just think the technology's moved on a little bit from that now, and it's kind of a little bit like kind of
thing in the mood.
Yeah. So yeah, I feel like technology's moved on a little bit, and we've got better things to experience, more immersive things to experience than a 90s ride sim.
Yeah. What I'm quite enjoying is exactly what you've just brought up again there. The fact that we feel that when you are at Disneyland Paris, the reason that I think we feel like that and that we don't want to spend more time there is because our time isn't taken up in the same way that it is in Disney World. It's not taken up going for a drink or going to a sit-down restaurant, because although we do that, a lot of the time it's not the same dining experience. It doesn't take as long. They're quite in and out. A lot of them are quite quick. It's not like, oh, I'll have like 3 courses or whatever.
Yeah.
If you go for that kind of thing, a lot of the time it's like Disney Village for us, at least. There is like there's Captain Jack's. We enjoyed it when we went there. Although we've struggled to get. I think it's been through a refurb, but we've struggled to get tables there.
Yeah.
On our past few trips. There's quite a lot of buffet in Disneyland Paris as well, isn't it? Which isn't. I'm not a massive fan of.
No.
But yeah, it's interesting, and I think that it's great. And this, if they keep this up and they keep doing these things, it will definitely add to the offering for sure.
Yeah. So it is exciting. I'm very excited about it. I think it's a really cool thing to bring. I think it's just that extra adult drink, dine experience. Is there, does it say is there an age limit on it?
No, not that I can see.
Okay. But it'd be nice to have characters like it says have characters in there. I think the concept art, doesn't the concept art show stormtroopers in there?
The concept art shows
I'm sure I've seen that.
stormtroopers.
So like stormtroopers are going to visit,
Like-
like they're doing
Yeah,
ogres when they just come in like look like they're patrolling or looking for people and
Yeah.
stuff like that. It's so cool. So it'd be nice to see that kind of thing going on.
yeah. It's exciting that it's getting these kind of experiences because this is what has been lacking, in my opinion.
Yeah, it has. I mean, yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, I was going to say something about the space up there, but I've not seen how much space there is up there. So
Exactly. You've not seen how much space they're actually allowing for it. Have they bought it out? Because there's quite a lot of empty space around there, isn't there? You know, like between the entrance to Star Tours, the side of Space Mountain, and then the entrance to Starport.
yeah,
There's quite a lot of empty space there. That's like a bit of a
yeah.
gap. So I guess that there's space for them to use.
So if this is a permanent thing they're putting in, then does this mean that that corner is going to become like a little Star Wars corner? Is that what
I
essentially
guess
we're
that's what we're
getting?
going for here.
Star Wars corner, and then are we getting Space Mountain going back to the Jules Verne theming that we keep hoping for?
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Um,
We can live in hope. A new hope.
we can live in a new hope. Yes. Yeah, it'd be good. Yeah, I think it'd be a good thing. I think it'd be a good experience. I think I'm looking forward to it.
Mm.
You know, themed maybe cocktails or whatever.
Yeah.
Does it say if they're alcoholic?
No,
It's
it's
super-
presented by Coca-Cola. I assume that there'll be alcoholic options. It's France. There's alcohol available in the parks.
Yeah.
It's not like Orlando where your alcohol options, especially in Magic Kingdom, you can't get alcohol.
So I'm guessing we're not going to be getting the same kind of drinks they've got in Ogres then. It's going to be more, Coke based.
Well, I'm not sure. I don't think it'll be like, it's not going to be like when we went to the Coca-Cola shop and went to
That's what I'm picturing.
the bar up there.
Yeah, the Coca-Cola shop that's in Disney Springs.
Yeah, where it is literally like
I'm picturing something like that with
cocktails with like Fanta in and stuff.
Yeah, so I'm picturing something like that with a Star Wars overlay on it.
I imagine that it will use Coke products, but they will somehow, they'll name them and there'll be some kind of effect and stuff. Are we going to get a fuzzy tom tom? Probably not.
No, probably not.
Are we going to get a Bespin Fizz? Probably not. But I imagine, there'll be something. So yeah, I think that's quite exciting.
Yeah, it is. Definitely is. Definitely something that definitely something to look forward to, I think. But I mean, if they're looking to open that spring summer, I mean, that's now.
Yeah, so it should be open pretty soon.
So yeah, when's that work starting? When are they getting that done?
So let me just see if there's actually a date. Oh, May 31st. So literally in like 3 weeks.
That's a quick turnaround.
I know. May 31st till September 17th.
Okay.
So we'll see. We'll see what comes of that. I'm sure that there'll be reviews on within a couple of days. So we'll have to keep an eye on it. So the next thing is hopping over to Universal now. Universal Studios Orlando. They have some brand new Jaws decorations that have descended on the San Francisco area of the park. And all of a sudden it's like Amity's taken over, and there's Jaws props, there's new photo ops. There's like a photo op that looks really cool with the boat, where it looks like you can stand in the boat and have your photo taken. There's like the parade banner and stuff is all up. It looks really, really cool. And that's all to do with the Jaws 50th anniversary. Do we think that could be this year's tribute store?
Well, maybe, yeah. But I guess by Halloween Horror Nights, by the time we get to Halloween, it's going to be Halloween
Or
Horror
the
Nights
Halloween Horror Nights
store
again.
again, won't
Yeah.
it? It'll be a store for
I
them.
always miss the tribute store.
No, every year. I'm gutted about the Jurassic Park tribute store.
Yeah,
I would have absolutely loved to have
That was for the anniversary of Jurassic Park, though, wasn't it?
That was last year.
Yeah.
That was this time last year it was on, because we chose last year not to book May and go for Halloween instead. And then lo and behold, they drop a Jurassic Park tribute store. And
Yeah.
it's like, oh, you've got to be kidding me.
But you never know when we book, because we book and get the dining offer and stuff, you never know what the tribute store is going to be if you want to see it.
I wonder whether they are going to go for a tribute store, because I believe that the merch is already out.
Yeah, there is some merch already out. There's like sippers, I say sippers, you know, the freestyle cups and
Yeah,
all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I've got some nice t-shirts. I really like this one as a Visit Amity Island t-shirt. That's really nice. Well, it's not a t-shirt, sorry. It's a vest or a tank top, depending on where you're from. If you're in the UK, it's a vest. What else they got on there? Yeah, it's really. I like the colours on it and stuff. It looks really good.
You sounded so British when you said tank top.
Tank top, did I?
Tank top.
Tank top.
Really.
Cap's nice. I quite like that t-shirt as well. It's like a blue t-shirt with the shark logo on it, and then they've got little cup holders.
The freestyle cup holders.
Yeah, cup holders with.
Yeah, I was somebody moaning about them the other day.
Oh, really? With Jaws 50th on. What were they moaning about?
Have Universal stopped putting the handles on freestyle cups just so they can sell those stupid holders?
It's not a stupid holder. I quite like the holder.
I quite like the holder too. And actually, no, they haven't, because last year at Halloween Horror Nights, we forgot our freestyle cup one day and we ended up with one of each. So we've got one without a handle and one with. So no, they do both.
And they've got some plush, some shark plush. They're quite cool. There's a yellow t-shirt. Quite like that yellow t-shirt as well, actually. But yeah, this merch looks like it's already all out. So I'm wondering whether they're going to bother with the tribute store. They're just putting the merch in the shop near, like, the Amity section.
Maybe.
Oh, the cup size is like an embossed mug.
Oh, is there?
Don't go in the water, it says on it.
Oh.
So that's cool. Cooler bag.
Cooler bag?
Cooler bag, yeah.
Like for a picnic?
Yeah. $40. $40 for your cooler bag.
$40?
Yeah.
For a cooler bag.
$40 for your cooler bag.
That's your jam, I guess.
What else have we got on here? Sorry, it's taking ages to load. Bucket hat, $30.
A bucket hat Universal do, don't they?
Yeah, bucket. I don't like. They don't suit me.
I look awful in a bucket hat.
You can't get them on your head.
No, I can't. My head's too big.
But yes, that's just some of the stuff that they've got going on. So yeah, looking at this, I'm assuming all this merch is already out and it's already out in the shop.
That won't be the tribute store.
That won't be a tribute store. Isn't the tribute store usually open by now?
I thought it was June. Normally, no, because normally we go around now if we go in May, and we always miss it. We're always like a week or two early.
Oh, so maybe not then.
So probably not, would be my assumption. But yeah, I think that's really exciting.
Yeah, it's really cool. I'm glad that they are representing one of their major film franchises.
Yeah, me too.
They are doing something with it, and they've got some photo ops and things like that.
Me too.
It's a shame they got rid of the ride. But yeah, it's nice that they're actually celebrating that, and they're bringing that back, and they're obviously, representing the film. So
yeah, definitely. Okay, so lastly then, for our Fast Pass the News, then heading back to Disney parks now. So heading over to Walt Disney World, and in Magic Kingdom, I'm very excited about this one. But the Pirates of the Caribbean Tavern, which we've been waiting for a long time, the Beak and Barrel, is said to be opening reservations so you can book your Disney dine-in from the 12th of June 2025.
I can't wait for that. That's going to be excellent because that was all construction walled up when we were there last year, wasn't it? And I was like,
I think they used a pirate shop to the other side temporarily, didn't they?
they did, yeah, where we did our pirate pledge.
Yeah, we did our pirate shop.
We did, yeah. Yeah, we did our pirate pledge there. So, yeah, I'm hoping this will be quite good. Does it do food?
Yeah, so looking at it, so it opens from June. Booking supposedly opens from June 12th. Now, this did go live on the Disney World website, and then they pulled it off. So whether or not it's been delayed, I'm not sure.
Or is this another Disneyland Paris
Yeah, 2025.
where they delay it for a year?
But Disney Resort hotel guests can book their reservations to dine at the Beacon Barrel starting June 12th. Specifically, these reservations will be to dine on select nights from August 15th through October 31st during Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. All other guests will be able to book reservations starting June 16th.
Okay, so in English, what does that mean?
That means that you will only be able to book. I don't know if they're only opening this to start with during Mickey's Not So Scary.
That's why
as like a trial thing.
That's why I'm asking.
That's what it looked.
Because that sounded like to me.
We've got to use our party time.
Yeah. Unless you book it earlier, so you get to the park earlier and you visit it before party time.
So the venue housed inside the former footprint of the Pirate League will offer guests a 45-minute window similar to Ogre's Cantina to enjoy bites and beverages, including cocktails for guests aged 21 and up. So more alcohol in the Magic Kingdom. We'd love to see it.
Excellent.
Um,
Bring your ID, bring your
passport.
bring your driving license if you're British.
Yeah, bring your passport. What do we normally do? No, we take our driving license and a photo of our passport.
Yeah.
If you didn't know that, you need both.
Yeah.
Yeah, and according to its storyline, the Beacon Barrel was established by Captain Mary Goldwyn and is overseen by Rummy, her chatty pirate quartermaster, who bears a striking resemblance to the original bark bird, aka Peglo Pete. Dining pirates will be regaled with sing-along songs, storytelling, and more enchanting surprises. So it sounds very interactive.
Oh, it sounds like the Tiki. What is it? Trader Sam's.
Trader Sam's.
Oh yeah, let's have some more of that. That would be good. An interactive thing, that would be really cool. Who needs to get a booking there? That would be fantastic.
So the Beacon Barrel is
more stuff like that for adults.
Yeah, me too. The Beacon Barrel is still listed as opening in late 2025, so it's possible that it will fully open once Halloween party season has concluded. Disney has yet to confirm an official opening date to all guests. So it sounds like they're going to be using the Halloween party as testing.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah, maybe that's it then. So we'll have to look at that when reservations open for that. We'll have to have a little look and see what we can get for it. If all we can get is the Not So Scary party, I'd like to do that, because then if they open it for all guests when Halloween is finished, so like into Christmas, then it's going to be like next year, isn't it, before we can experience it?
Yeah,
I think that would be a good time to do it if we can.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, it's really. I think it's really exciting. I'm really looking forward to it and seeing what happens.
I love ogres, don't I? I love that. So I'm excited now about the Star Wars bar coming to Paris, and now we've kind of got this restaurant / bar coming to Magic Kingdom. So yeah, more of this stuff.
Yeah, more of this, please.
Yeah, it's good.
I think it's fantastic. I think it's really exciting, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do with it. So moving on to our next segment then. So we want to talk about some of our epic expectations.
Yeah, so with the recent official opening of Epic Universe.
Yeah, very exciting.
Yeah, it's when this podcast actually goes out, it will have opened. Yeah,
a few days before. But yeah, really excited. Obviously, we've been seeing a lot. I at least have successfully avoided almost all spoilers. I've seen some queue lines, I've seen some outside areas, but I've not seen anything of the rides themselves. How successful have you been in that endeavor?
Not as successful as you, by the sound of it.
Oh.
I've seen some I've seen the races.
Okay.
I've seen whatever the ride's called, How to Train a Dragon ride, whatever that's called.
Yeah, I don't know.
I've seen that come down the drop and go round like the water feature.
Oh, I've not seen that.
Um, one or two bits of monsters, but when I see it, I try to flick it off.
Yeah, I have seen some of
I've seen
like
one
the
or two
land.
little bits. Yeah, I've seen one or two little bits. It's really hard not to look at it when you literally live on an Instagram and stuff full of Disney, Universal, and theme park stuff. And it's really, really hard not to see it. And when you do register what it is, you go, oh, and you flick it
Yeah.
off. But by then you start to register what you've just seen. So you can't help but see bit.
No.
You'd have to literally like turn your Instagram off or something to
To avoid
not
it
see it.
completely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to not see it. So you are going to see little bits. So it's very, very difficult not to see anything at all. But I'm happy to say that I am quite ignorant to it.
Oh,
And I'm trying to stay as ignorant as possible. I've seen a lot of people who have managed to get over there in June and stuff, like around May time. Sorry, I've seen a lot of people getting over there and like having their photo outside and all that kind of thing. So I've seen a few of those. I've seen a couple of the characters. But again, I'm trying not to watch it
Yeah.
because I want the excitement of getting there and discovering it for myself.
Yeah, me too.
So I'm not going to watch any vlogs on it. I'm not going to watch any reels and TikToks on it. I am going to scroll past everything I possibly can. If I wasn't going this year, I probably would just watch
Yeah.
and see what's going on, ready for when I visit next year.
Yeah.
But as we are actually going this year, we are actually going in like 4 months.
Yeah.
It seems silly to me to start watching vlogs and watching what's going on when in 4 months' time, we'll be there.
Hopefully be it. Well,
Yeah, we'll be there. So I'd rather have that the excitement of discovering a new park for myself without watching things.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm avoiding everything at the moment.
Yeah, me too. It's hard as well, especially when it's somebody that you follow yourself. So you obviously like
Someone you like.
seeing them. You like seeing them places, and you like seeing their stories, and you like seeing their content.
Yeah.
And you like seeing what they're putting out.
Yeah.
And then they're at Epic Universe because like, I really want to see what you're up to. I want to see how your day's going. I also don't want to ruin this park.
Yeah, exactly. We'll go back and watch their vlogs when we've been.
Yeah.
So we can see what their experience was like. But unless I have a burning question, and even if I do, to be honest, I'd probably just message them on Instagram and just go,
Yeah.
what did you do about this? But I don't have any questions, so I'm fine at the moment. But yeah, when we get back and we've already been, I'll go back and watch people's vlogs and stuff, the people that we like and the people that we follow,
Yeah.
just because I obviously want to support them. And it's important to do that. But I don't want to spoil anything for myself.
No, exactly.
I'm too scared of what they're going to show me, what they're going to tell me.
Yeah.
No, I'd rather just go on my own, like with no knowledge.
Yeah, definitely. So what are you expecting from Epic Universe? What are you most? Yeah. Firstly, what are you expecting?
When you say what you're expecting, what do you mean?
Like from an experience, from a park experience.
Well, I have to say it's been very, very hyped up, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Very hyped up. So I'm trying not to expect the world because it is its first year opening and all that kind of thing. I have areas of the park that I'm looking forward to because I want to do them. And there are actually one or two areas of the park that I'd have very little interest in,
Yeah, me too.
but I'll have to experience them.
Mm-hmm.
What am I expecting? I'm expecting it to be epic.
Oh,
I'm expecting it to be.
use that pun twice.
I know I have one, same one as well. I'm expecting it to be just beautiful
Mm.
and immersive and really, really intensely themed. Because I think that, that immersive world, I think that's what Universal are going for now. So that's what I'm expecting it to be. I'm expecting this immersion. I'm expecting meet and greets, and all that kind of thing. But I've also got a little bit of reservation that don't go there with these massively high expectations, because all you'll do then is get there and go, oh, and feel a bit
let down.
let down's a bit too harsh, but yeah, feel a little bit like, oh, okay. Do you know what I mean? Underwhelmed is probably a better word.
Yeah.
I'm just a little bit nervous of being slightly underwhelmed. So I think if I just go a little bit like, like, I don't know what the word is.
Open-minded.
Open-minded, thank
Yeah.
you. If I just go a little bit open-minded, there's too much going on in my head right now. I can't get my words out properly. If I just go a little bit open-minded, then I think that's the safest way to go.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to walk in there and expecting all this stuff to get in there and just go, oh, okay.
No, exactly.
Because it is still first year of opening. It's a brand new park. They've literally built it from nothing.
Carry on.
You can't expect it to be built in a way that they understand it.
No.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course.
Or does that just only make sense in
No, that makes sense to me. But then again, some things will make sense to me and you and no one else. So, yeah. And I think I've been saying for a while that I feel like the expectations are too high. As much as I think it's going to be beautiful and it's going to be stunning, and I think that the worlds are going to be incredibly immersive compared to when you can. I know it's a totally different park in Universal. We're in a very different place back then. When you compare it to like Universal Studios, I know that was their first park.
Yep.
But when you compare the two, I feel like it's going to be very different.
Yeah.
But do I feel like it's going to totally blow me away? Probably not.
Okay.
And we've seen some content coming out, haven't we? Where talking about the danger of like overly high expectations.
Yep.
And obviously based on Epic Universe. So it's interesting to see that kind of content is coming out, because I've always felt a little bit like, okay, there's some areas that I'm really excited for, and there's other areas that, like you said, I'm a bit surprised that they've put those areas in there. Some of them I didn't realize have as much of the following as they did. Like How to Train Your Dragon, I had no idea that people like that as much as they do. But all I keep seeing on Instagram is people like praising that area, going and meeting the characters, saying how cool it is, and it seems to have a massive following, and I didn't even realize. So, but I've never watched the movie, so
no, I haven't either.
I don't know.
We need to watch the movie now because I need to know that these characters.
Yeah, we do. Get to understand it.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's certain things that I'm really looking forward to. There's other areas where I'm a bit like, we'll see. So yeah, I think it's just going to be interesting. And I think for us, it's not going to be, I'm not surprised by it, because it's a massive land area that they've used. And I do think that things are going to be quite spaced out for a Universal Park. I do think there's going to be quite a lot of walking between rides involved. And for me and you, who our local park is Alton Towers, we're used to that anyway.
Yeah.
But when you compare it to like Universal Studios, like Islands of Adventure, you're never far away from a ride. There's never much walking in between rides, really.
I guess not. But do you not think, though, even in that heat, though, walking anywhere is like a struggle?
Yeah, sometimes.
Because sometimes we'll walk around, like sometimes we'll be in Universal Studios and we'll be, I don't know, let me make something up. We'll be by Minions or something, and then be like, oh, should we go over to like where Men in Black is? And I think, oh God, do we have to? So that seems like such a long walk. But
Yeah.
when you think of it, as I guess in like landmass and stuff, when you think of it like in conjunction to say walking from in Alton Towers, is if you're walking from say the Smiler to Nemesis, that seems like such a long walk. But in the weather we are used to, in the weather we have here,
Yeah.
it feels so much easier to do than it does over there.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You're probably not walking anywhere near as far, but because of the heat over there and the humidity, all of a sudden it takes especially when you're
It's not the heat for me, it's the humidity.
You're not a Floridian, when you don't live there,
Yeah.
and you're not used to that kind of heat. You know, just walking that distance is like, oh.
Yeah, heat I can deal with, it's the humidity.
That's the one thing you always complain about.
Yeah, the sticky, like, ugh. If I could change one thing about going to Orlando, it'd be the humidity. Yeah, I think it's really excited. What are you most excited for?
Monsters.
Monsters. I knew you were going to say monsters.
Monster stuff. All the monster stuff. Just let me at that. I love my Halloween. I love my monsters stuff. I love all that.
Yeah.
Monsters is definitely the thing that I'm looking forward to the most. I'm excited to ride the racers because I've heard that they are giving Velocicoaster a run for their money. Now, I won't hear anything bad said against Velocicoaster. I'm afraid. I'm sorry, but I won't. And people are saying that they give Velocicoaster a run for their money. So we need to test that theory. We need
Yeah,
to
let's test it out.
We need to see that. I need to see. So yeah, definitely the monster stuff is what I'm excited for. That's my bag. That is my thing. I'm excited to see what they've done with the Harry Potter stuff.
Yeah.
Although I feel like I'm out of touch with the Harry Potter stuff.
Okay. I feel like I am too.
As in, isn't this all about Fantastic Beasts and stuff?
The area is, yeah, from what I'm understanding. Again, I haven't done that much research into it. There's a few reasons for that at the moment. Partly because I've not watched any of the Fantastic Beasts films, partly because J.K. Rowling's a little bit problematic and it does touch a nerve with me. I am going to go and explore the land, and that is probably a little bit, what's it called when you, what's the word I'm looking for? Hypocritical. It's probably a little bit hypocritical of me, but I know that I'm not going to be the only person doing that. So yeah, we will go and have a look at it, and having seen, I don't really know what the ride is because I'm trying to avoid everything. But having seen the Ministry, like the queue line and stuff, it looks
amazing, doesn't it?
Amazing. And as a Harry Potter fan, I can't let that go. I can't miss that. So I'm gonna have to go.
Well, as much as I don't feel like I'm out of it because of not knowing what Fantastic Beasts is all about, I don't feel like you'll need to
No,
know what it's all about.
Essentially not.
I think the headlining character that's part of it, which is Professor Umbridge, isn't it? So
yeah, and in the
I think she's supposed to ride. Yeah, I think it's all about her in that ride. So
yeah, it will be.
We've been introduced to that character. We know who that character is, that kind of thing. So
I find that a little bit strange that the main ride in there is the Ministry and it's all around Umbridge. But as far as I'm aware, Umbridge doesn't come into Fantastic Beasts. So again, I feel like that's another set of movies that at least I need to watch before we go, so I can try and understand it. But just to clarify for anybody listening or watching, we have watched, me much more than you, but we've watched all of the Harry Potter franchise. The Fantastic Beasts franchise we've not ventured into, and I know that I'm not alone in that in terms of Harry Potter fans. I know there are some Harry Potter fans that just go, I'm really not interested, because I felt like I was quite alone in that, but apparently I'm not. So yeah, I think for me, I'm gonna have to watch them now before we go.
that's bizarre, isn't it? That you're not interested in it.
Yeah, it's like a spin-off, isn't it?
Yeah, but
It's like when I loved The Walking Dead, but I found all of the spin-offs quite boring.
Okay.
I've watched the first season of a couple of them and then gone, no. I guess it's no different to it. It's like I said, what it is, isn't it? It's a spin-off. So yeah, I just don't know. I don't know. They've just not grabbed me. I've not gone, oh wow.
What are you least looking forward to? What's the one thing that you could just go, I'm not bothered about that? Like, I'll visit it, or we'll go and see it, we'll go and do it. But what's the one thing in there that you think, meh?
Annoyingly, it's probably the How to Train Your Dragon area.
Really?
But the reason that I say annoyingly is because that's where the best coasters seem to be. Or am I wrong?
You're wrong.
Am I?
Mm-hmm.
I thought the coasters were in How to Train Your Dragon.
Which ones?
Like two of the main ones. Isn't the dueling coasters in there?
No.
Oh. What have I looked at? Okay. What are you least looking forward to?
Nintendo.
Really? Oh no, that's the bit I'm most looking forward to.
Nah. I'm not bothered.
But I was a Nintendo kid. My first console was a Nintendo 64.
Yeah, see, I wasn't. I was never a Nintendo kid. The kid over the road had a Nintendo, and I used to be like, "Oh, what's this thing? What's this cheap thing?"
Was it cheap?
Well, yeah, but when you're a kid, you don't know no different, do you? You don't understand the price of stuff.
Different to your
I was a Mega Drive kid. I was a Sega kid. I was
if it was a
Sonic, and
exactly. So if it was a Sega Land and it was all Sonic,
I'd be there.
you'd be there. You'd be excited for it.
Of course, would.
But that was the same kind of feeling that I have. I mean, I very much played Sonic as a kid as well. We didn't have a Mega Drive. We had a Nintendo 64, and Super Mario 64 and Pokemon Stadium were the two first games that we had on it. Yeah, I grew up with that, and then had Game Boy and a Nintendo DS and a Wii. So it was very much a Nintendo. It was very much a Nintendo household. So Mario was a massive part of it.
Yeah, see, ours wasn't. So I don't really have a connection. I knew it. I played it because, like I said, the kid over the road had it. So I played it and stuff. I knew what it was, but it's just never been a massive, massive part of my childhood. Never had a Game Boy either. So
What?
no, never had any of that. I never had anything Nintendo.
The yellow
Stuff.
I think that was my sister's. My sister had the yellow and black one, and then the black and white one. And then I think I had a Game Boy Color, and I can't remember what it was called. The Game Boy that folded over. It wasn't a DS. It was a Game Boy still, when it was like a little square. Sure, somebody will let me know in the comments what that was called. But yeah, I've very much a Nintendo kid, so I'm really, really looking forward to it.
I'm interested in the rides that are in that area. I want to go see the rides. I want to go see the theming. I want to see it all. But I have no connection to the theme, is what I'm trying to say. So that's the bit that I'm like not too.
I'm a bit confused as to what's going on with the Mario Kart ride. And again, I have avoided all spoilers, but I keep hearing things on like podcasts that we've listened to and stuff about AR visors. So I'm guessing that there's some kind of augmented reality visor that you have on, and it's going to be a combination of physical things, but then also like stuff's going to pop up on this visor to make it look like that's in front of you as well when it's not really there. So yeah, I'm really interested in that whole land. The Donkey Kong coaster looks amazing.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I love to look at that. I remember Donkey Kong. Remember it advertising on TV all the time when I was a kid. Again, never played it, never had it.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that whole area, to be honest. I think it's going to be amazing. And then, is there anything that you think will surprise you?
Yeah, probably some of the like animatronics and meet and greets and stuff. Some of the stuff I've seen they look really, really good. They look really, really interactive, even though I can see it's an animatronic and it's not, not real. I think I'm going to be surprised by the technology, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the technology is going to be quite surprising. I didn't even realize, but they're using, the thing that they use in Universal Beijing for lockers, the facial
stuff
thing.
Yeah.
They have that in there.
Oh, really?
So they've started installing lighting.
Do you think they're going to go back to the parks and update the lockers then?
I think so, because they're terrible.
Yeah, that'll be better, won't it?
Yeah. No more funning around with your paper ticket.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. But and then it goes, you come off, you put your bag in successfully. You come off the ride. I mean, this will probably never change, but you put your bag in successfully. People will know what I'm talking about. You put your bag in, you go on. Let's say you're on Forbidden Journey.
I know what you're going to say.
Come off.
Exactly what you're going to say.
You scan your ticket, and it goes, "Sorry, your locker's located at the Hulk." And you're like, "I did the Hulk 45 minutes ago. How?
How has my bag moved?"
I've been
to the
on
Hulk.
the Velocicoaster since and had no problem, and now my locker's back at the Hulk.
Yeah. How has that happened? It's like the computer system behind all the software forgets everything else you've done and goes, "Oh no, you're back." Yeah, it reverts. It deletes all the history and reverts back to where your bag first ended, or something like that.
It's
weird.
It feels to me like you do it and you get the allotted time that you get before it locks you out and goes, "Oh, you've got to pay now." I feel like it locks you out, and then So you'll do it. You'll go and get your bag out, and it's like it doesn't register that you've taken your bag out of that locker, even though it's open for you. It's not registered it. So then you go and do whatever else you're doing, and you're still within that window for your free time at the Hulk.
Oh, maybe that's what it is.
And then your free time ends, and wherever you are at that point, it goes, your locker's still over at the Hulk.
It's not. Someone's moved me stuff while I've been on the ride. What's going on?
But yeah,
The locker gnomes have been around again, moving everyone's stuff about.
it's always Forbidden Journey or Hagrid's. It's always those two where it seems to happen to us. And whether that's just because that's the point in the park that we're at when it happens.
Because maybe we subconsciously do the park in the same way every time and don't realise that we're doing it.
Cell phones, bags, and loose change.
I knew you were going to do that. I knew that is coming.
But yeah, I think I think the technology in the park is definitely going to be something that's going to be exciting. The one thing that we've been talking about between ourselves a lot recently is the fact that the park is in preview at the moment. It's previews, it's pass holder previews, it's cast member previews. Hotel guests seem to be getting offered the experience to go and offered the chance to experience the park. I don't know whether I assume that they're getting it at a discounted rate. I assume they're not getting it for free.
I don't know. I've not asked the question.
But my biggest question, and this has mainly come from that Facebook group that you've joined, obviously because you love the drama. You love a Facebook group for the drama, don't you?
I do.
It was just like,
I find it funny to read.
He'll be sat on the sofa giggling to himself, and I'll walk in and he'll be like scrolling through his phone. And normally I'm like, oh, okay, he's watching TikTok, but it's silent. And I walk in and he'll be sat on some Facebook group for a theme park, just giggling at the comments and the stupidity in there.
Yeah, I do.
My kind of biggest question is, people just don't get it, do they?
Don't get that it's in preview.
Yeah. Or what being in preview means.
It doesn't seem like it.
People just don't seem to understand that it's in preview. The park is brand new. It's just opening. They're testing everything. Okay, they've had they're not called cast members, are they? They're team members. They've had team members go in and with their family and stuff, and they've had those kind of days. They've had days for the creative team to go and experience it and take their family along and all those kinds of things. There was loads of team member previews. Then they started doing the annual pass previews. And they've done like media events and stuff. So they have had people into the park, but not at the capacity that seemed to be going in now during this kind of final stage of previewing. And it's like they don't understand that, one, it's a preview, but two, these rides are brand new. This park is brand new. They're trialing things. There's going to be teething issues. It's brand new technology. I mean, look at when it's a totally different scale, but look at when they put Hyperion into Thorpe Park. That had no end of problems when it first opened.
It's still having a few, I
The
think.
Curse at Alton Manor had problems when it first opened. It was delayed on its opening day because of the trauma.
Yeah.
Like, if you are a theme park fan, you know that these things are going to happen.
Yeah.
But the general public that are going in at the moment just seem to be kicking off.
You see, you're talking about the fact that people are complaining that the rides are up and down, that some rides are being closed for an entire day, and things like that. That's what you're talking about, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that some people are just going along to it, and there's some kind of assumption that it's open and
The perfect day.
Yeah, and they're complaining. A lot of people seem to be complaining that things aren't open or things aren't operating. Now, it's difficult to say, sit on your chair at home, what's going on there and, what's happening. But I think during previews at this time, the park isn't officially open.
Exactly.
So,
it's not even open yet.
If shows are cancelled, rides are down for the day or whatever, then rides are down.
Unfortunately, you're there during previews. You have to get
the park hasn't officially opened yet. They haven't actually declared it as open and ready. It's like soft opening, isn't it? So
there was one that in particular that stands out to me that you read to me, where they literally listed everything that happened throughout the day. Went to this ride, got there, it was closed. Headed into this land, got there, couldn't get in because we don't have a virtual queue. Got to this show, it was cancelled. There was only one that day. Like, yeah, it's in testing. They're testing it.
when you look at like when new rides open, I mean, Disney do it, don't they? When they open a new ride, it's a virtual queue only, and you've got to go into a virtual queue for it and all this kind of stuff. And I think they're operating the park at the moment on a whole virtual queue system,
think
just because of the amount of people that probably want to get in there and ride stuff. So yeah, so I think, availability at the moment is not at its best, but again, the park hasn't actually officially opened.
no. So I just think, like, for me, I see it and I think, what are you moaning about? Like, honestly, what are you moaning about? Because you're lucky enough to have been one of the first people to go and experience it. You've experienced it before a lot of other people.
Well, is that lucky or not?
Well, it's just the time that you're there, isn't it?
I guess so.
Let's say, for example, you've traveled from the UK and you've booked this period. Now, a lot of people that are there from the UK, especially if they're staying on Disney property and they've done the advanced booking to get the early booking deal to get the dining offer, whatever that is, during that time, you've booked ahead and it's just lucky that you've booked a time period where it was going to open, because they didn't announce this when the dining booking was live. So if you've booked 18 months in advance, 18 months ago, all we knew that was that Epic Universe was opening in 2025. We didn't have a date. So I think from that point of view, it's just lucky that you're there at that time.
Yeah, I guess so.
So I think, I guess that's the point that I'm trying to make. Like, just enjoy it. Just experience it and enjoy it. You're experiencing it a lot before other people will. So just chill out, stop moaning. There has been a couple of issues with Stardust Racers and Curse the Werewolf. Is that the one that's been confirmed down for like a week?
Think so. Something like that.
Yeah, Curse the Werewolf, and I think Stardust Racers
Wasn't really keeping track on how long it was.
like a lot of downtime. But everything else has just kind of been up and down, or there's been like shows cancelled and stuff. So yeah, I'm really excited. I can't wait. I think it's going to be fantastic. It looks incredible. It looks like it's going to be amazing at night. It looks like it's got some amazing like nighttime lighting installed and lighting effects. So yeah. So last up there, we've just done a bit of a pop culture pit stop. So we just want to talk through some stuff that we've noticed is going on in the kind of pop culture sector at the moment. Now, one of them is that there have been rumours flying around recently of Benidorm, which is a TV show, for anybody who's not aware, returning for season 11, hasn't there?
Yep.
So they cancelled it after season 10. They ended it. Now we stopped watching. We really enjoy Benidorm, but we enjoy Benidorm when the Garveys, who were the original family, were in it.
Yeah.
We kind of stopped watching once they left, and the new, I don't even know what they're called.
Played by Steve Pemberton.
Yeah.
A massive Steve Pemberton fan.
We love Steve Pemberton, don't we?
Yeah.
The Garveys. So that's when we kind of took out. That's when we enjoy it, and it's one of the shows. It's a bit like a comfort show for us. I think a lot of people will understand what I mean by that. It's the kind of show that we'll put on like when we get in bed. If we just want something to just kind of relax to and not really have to think about, or something on in the background, we'll stick Benidorm on. Even though we've watched it a few times around now,
Millions is on.
but we end up stopping when the Garveys leave and then going to start again.
Yep.
So what they've actually announced is that potentially they are returning and they're bringing the Garveys back. So they're bringing the original family back. So what are your thoughts on that? Have you seen anything?
Well, they did an announcement, didn't they, in the Benidorm Palace using the
Oh yeah, at BennyCon, which was a
BennyCon.
thing.
Oh yeah, I did. We've never been, but yeah, BennyCon. Yeah, they did a bit of a
skit.
a bit of a skit, yeah, to announce that season 11 might be coming back.
Yeah.
I think Darren Litton, the writer, has gone out there and said that ITV are interested and are in talks, but have not yet confirmed anything. So, do I want it to come back? I would give a few new episodes a go, but if it's going to be like the return of Will and Grace, where it was absolutely it was
Oh, crap.
yeah, it was awful, then I'd rather not bother.
Yeah.
Frasier, they brought Frasier back, and that wasn't, but that was all. That was better
That
than
was okay.
that
It's
was
better than
better
Will and
than
Grace.
Will and Grace, but it wasn't.
Still
That
wasn't
wasn't
great.
good either. So yeah, if they're going to bring it back and it's going to be good, then yeah, I'll give it a watch. If they're going to bring it back and it's going to be forced and rubbish, then I'd rather not.
Yeah. I think I'm in the same boat as you. It's going to be interesting to see what they do. I mean, the actors are fantastic. That play the family, so I can't see why it wouldn't be. It's potentially just going to be in the writing.
Absolutely, yeah. So I think, like I was about to say, the actors themselves are fantastic, and everything they touch turns to gold. I think usually, doesn't it? But if, and I'm not going to say the writing's going to be bad, but if they've literally run out, if they're going to force it, if they've run out of things to do,
Yeah.
then maybe there's nothing left to write about. Maybe there's nothing left for the characters. So if there's nothing left, then it's going to be forced, and there'll be a shame if it is forced and it kind of ruins it.
Yeah.
I don't always think shows coming back is a good thing. I can't really think of a show that's come back after a long hiatus and it's been really good.
No.
They usually come back for a bit and then
It dies off.
yeah, you realize actually this is not,
You should have left it where it was.
yeah, exactly.
And I think that's why they never did like a Friends. They did a Friends reunion where all the cast got together again, and James Corden made it the James Corden show. But they never did season 11 of Friends, did they?
No, and I'm glad they didn't.
I'm glad they did.
I'm glad they let Friends where it was, and
Yeah, me too.
it will never be back. Friends won't,
No.
and I'm glad of that. Leave it where it is.
Yeah, I totally agree. Another series that we've been really enjoying at the moment is Good American Family.
Yeah, so if you're into your kind of not, I wouldn't well, kind of horror.
Thriller?
Yeah, if you're into like your thriller stuff,
Your thriller mystery stuff, you're based on a true story stuff.
yeah, then you'll like this. It's on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's called Good American Family. I think it's based on a true story from what I can remember. So yeah, if you like your thriller stuff, if you like your eerie kind of, twisty,
Like what the hell is going on?
yeah, if you like that kind of thing, then give this a watch because it's pretty good.
Yeah, we really enjoyed it. It's very similar to, if you've seen the horror movie The Orphan.
Yep.
It's a very similar story, and they do reference that in there.
They do.
And they talk about the fact that that movie came out a few years earlier, and then those events seem to be taking place in real life. It's based on a true story. There's a court case that's still going on about it at the moment, and it tells you the story in the first few episodes from the adoptive parents' point of view, and then it tells you the story from the child's point of view.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's fascinating. So go and watch it. Yeah, really, really good. Highly recommend if that's the kind of thing that you're into. Lilo and Stitch also releases this month the live action / CGI reimagining of Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah, I've never actually seen Lilo and Stitch properly, have I? I think I've watched
it once.
I think I've watched it once.
I think you might have fallen asleep.
Yeah, maybe.
I have a bit of a soft spot for this movie. My auntie took me to see it when it first came out, and I really enjoy it. It's one of the last kind of, it's not the last, but it's coming to the end of the era where Disney were still animating in that way.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it definitely has its charm. I think the soundtrack is great, but my issue comes into how often we see Stitch just in general day-to-day life. Like, it's all over the kind of Disney range that you see in places like Primark. It's all over Disneyland Paris. It's creeps in places in Disney World. Like, I just feel like he's everywhere.
Just a popular character, isn't it?
Very popular
A character that sells well, which is why Disney pushes it.
Yeah, it sells well, so then it's everywhere because it's on all the merch. There was that Disneyland Paris range that came out, wasn't there? But Stitch was all over it. I feel like Stitch has kind of become like a secondary mascot to Disneyland Paris.
Yeah, potentially, yeah.
So yeah, aside from the Fab Five, you've also got Stitch.
Yeah. I think this film will absolutely fly. I think Stitch is a really, really big character in a lot of people's lives and things like that. I think, seeing the amount of merch and stuff that's about with Stitch and all that kind of thing, I think this film will absolutely fly.
Yeah.
Do I think it'll be any good? I don't know.
Mm.
Because I haven't really liked much of the live action stuff that they've put out.
No, I haven't either, if I'm honest.
Every single live action that comes out disappoints me in some way.
Yeah.
So do I think it'll be any good? I don't know. Are we going to go and see it? Yes, we are, because Matt wants to see it. So yeah, we will go and see it, but I think it'll do really well for them.
Yeah.
If I'm honest.
I think so too. I think it will be a massive, I mean, it's everywhere at the moment. I walked into Tesco the other day and I saw that there was like a crate of pineapples and they're just Tesco pineapples. They're not even like they're not like Dole or whatever, but they are sponsored by Lilo and Stitch. I'm guessing because pineapples Hawaii, and that's the link there. But it was just really random.
It's just a way to sell them.
Yeah, and it's just a way to one, sell them, but also remind people that this movie comes out at the end of the month.
Yeah.
The next point that we've got is, do you remember the? I threw this one in because I thought it was hilarious. Remember the piracy advert that used to be on the start of DVDs?
Mm-hmm.
But it was like, you wouldn't steal a car.
Yeah, it's all over TikTok at the minute.
Is it?
Yeah, I see it loads.
I've heard the music a lot on TikTok when you've just been like scrolling through. You scroll through it more than I do. It's like, you wouldn't steal a car, you wouldn't steal a handbag. And that, I think, for anybody that was around it in that era, is like engraved in people's memories, because it was every single DVD you bought and you couldn't skip it, could you?
I know, because I used to try and skip it and you weren't allowed to.
It was the one thing.
Yeah. When I first heard it again, I was like, oh my God, this is a callback to my childhood. How weird. But now I've heard it loads. I'm like, oh, this again.
That one.
Yeah. That's just like it.
Yeah. So did you know that the font that they use, which again is quite iconic, and I think that's what people have been using on TikTok, isn't it? They've been like changing it to really stupid stuff.
Yeah.
Did you know that was pirated?
No.
So they stole it. They didn't have permission to use the font, and now there's a court case going.
But there's some bloke out there going, hang on a minute, that's my font.
I mean, I think it's hilarious that it's taken this long for them to realise.
Well, the only way that it would happen is if the owner of the font decided to put a court case in. So did they never have a DVD player when they were
exactly
when they were younger?
That's kind of my question, I guess. One, how has it taken this long to come around?
And it's weird.
Two, do you not think it's? I mean, I think it's quite funny that that content was pirated, because you were literally saying you can't steal this. And they've stolen something.
It just must have been a mistake back then. So whoever made that video, in whatever marketing agency or whatever agency made that video, whoever made it grabbed the font from somewhere to use it, and obviously didn't check the licensing restrictions on the font or something. I don't know. It's weird for like such an official like marketing video or whatever to be made, and for people, for whoever was in charge of it didn't check that.
Didn't check that we've got the rights to use.
They've got the rights to use that.
Exactly. Yeah. And I can remember it so clearly. Like, and I don't think it was just a UK thing, was it? Because
I've got no idea.
It looked like it was filmed like in New York or something, where they were like, you wouldn't steal a car, and it showed like a car in an alleyway.
I don't know whether it was just a UK thing, or was it led by the UK government,
or
something like that. I don't know. Just because it's American car, it's probably just
I know, it's probably stock footage.
Yeah, it's probably just stock footage they've used. But I don't know. I don't know whether it was an American thing and it came over to us, or
I don't know. But I think that it was a proper iconic thing, wasn't it? And I don't think it was one studio that had it on their DVDs. I think most of them did, didn't they?
Oh, I've got no. And you know what? That's not even something that would.
The origins of it. All of the tangent. We won't go down that.
As to whether it was on particular studios' DVDs or.
Oh, well, that's the last one on there. That's very much a you thing.
Yeah, so the last one on here, the Jurassic Park you've got on here, but Jurassic World exhibition is coming back to the UK and is at Battersea Power Station.
That's quite exciting. That's a new venue for it.
It is. You say it's very exciting, like we've never been to it. We went to it when it was in London. So when it was in London, it was at the XL.
Yeah.
We went to it there, and then they put it in Manchester in the car park at the Trafford Centre. We went to it there as well because we wanted to see if there was any differences, which there was. And now it's going to Battersea Power Station. So I'm assuming it's going to be the same one as Manchester going to Battersea Power
I would have
Station.
thought smaller one.
A slightly smaller one, yeah, than what was in London. But I really like it. I might even book it and go again.
Yeah.
I
really enjoyed it when we did it.
I really enjoyed it. As a Jurassic Park fan, I thought it was loads of fun. For me, some of the stuff that you do in there is very kid orientated, but like brushing off the fossils and stuff. I just really enjoyed the animatronics and how real they look, and the immersion of it and stuff, and then watching the the battle at the end and stuff. For me, the pull is the animatronic.
Yeah, massively, 100%.
Because I just think they're amazing.
It's me too. They are. That's why they're incredible. And I think for anybody that's a fan of that kind of thing, I'd highly recommend going to check it out if you haven't already. Okay, so that's a wrap on this episode of Exit Through the Gift Shop. So thanks for hanging out with us.
If you enjoyed the ride, make sure you follow, subscribe, and maybe even leave a little review if you're feeling nice. It really helps more theme park fans and pop culture pals find us.
Got a question, a hot take, or a random thought? Send it our way. We love hearing what you guys are thinking.
And don't forget to check us out over on YouTube at It's Rob and Matt for more theme park adventures.
So until next time, stay magical, stay chaotic, and as always, exit through the gift shop.